Hi, everybody. It's Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to Against the Public. I'm Dana Lane. We're the only show that combs through early betting patterns, tells you exactly where you might want to steer clear of public opinion. Today, we've identified 3 college basketball selections for our Wednesday free card. Where I think in all 3 of these, we are getting the better of the number. The money certainly is going in the opposite direction, which, you can't always go by that. But, I mean, Vegas wasn't built on winners, so you always kind of want to be on that other side. But really, once you get into this, you realize the public does a lot better than people think. So this is very difficult. After the show, go to pickdawgz.com, where you're going to find my top 3 college basketball selections for just $49.99, and that always comes with our Pick Dawgz win guarantee that states you must make a profit, or we'll give you an immediate site credit for the purchase price. And last night, once again, a perfect 3-0 night in college basketball. That's back-to-back 3-0 nights for everybody that got involved with that package. So don't hesitate to do it again. Those 3 games have been locked in for hours now. So get involved with that so you can make sure that you get the better of the number. If you need more reasons to join me tonight and become an all-access customer, here we go. Overall, and this is every sport, we're going to do it fast. Overall, last 7 days, 46 and 25, 65% winners. Number 1 in that span. Overall, last 7 days in the NFL, 6 and 2, plus 380 units won. Overall, last 7 days, NBA, 12 and 5, 71% winners. Number 1 overall in that span. Overall, last 7 days, college basketball, 15 and 9, 63% winners, plus 505 units. Number 2 amongst cappers with at least 20 plays. Couldn't get the number 1 on that one. We'll get that tonight. Overall, in the last 7 days in the NHL, 57.1% winners, 665 units won. Number 1 overall in that span. Overall, last 30 days, 1,338 units won. Number 1 amongst cappers with at least 200 plays. College football over the last 30 days, we've absolutely crushed college football this year. 64% winners, 780 units won. Number 1 with at least 30 plays. College basketball, last 30 days, 71 and 53, 57% winners, 1,230 units won. Also number 1 in that span. Last 90 days in college football. And I told you we've been killing it. I told you back in August we would kill college football, and we absolutely have this year. 89 and 62 on the season, 59% winners, plus 2,065 units. And if you want to talk about what we've done, and that's just the last 90 days, you want to talk about what we did this entire season, 99 and 74, 57.2% winners, 1,745 units won. Number 1 college football handicapper. Over the course of the season in college basketball, 84 and 67 so far, 56% winners, 980 units won. Number 1 amongst the cappers with at least 110 plays this season. All records are updated hourly at pickdawgz.com. That's really all that needs to be said. I always let the numbers do the talking, for better or worse, and the numbers are on the better of that side right now. To become an all-access customer, go to pickdawgz.com, purchase one of my various packages, including my 30-day or 90-day all-access pass. Get every single one of my plays for one low price, and that also is so much better than purchasing them on an individual basis. It's less than $100 a month. It's less than $10 a day. Make sure you get involved so you get every NFL play, every college bowl game, every NBA play, every NHL, college basketball, every selection sent to you for one low price. For 30 days or 60 days, whatever you choose. Obviously, we also have an annual pass up there, too, that I'll work my way up to that. I don't expect you to give me your trust over the next year, but if I'm working my way up to that, and I've already proven myself, get involved in that. If you want to get a 30-day pass and say, look, I'll try you out for a month, we'll see what happens at that point, that's fine too. I will earn your trust. Just give it to me. Just give me like 1% of your trust. I'll earn the 99%. A guy used to say that I used to work with. But it's true. And so I do appreciate everybody that has gotten involved. So let's get to our Wednesday free plays. And we're going to start off with game 633, 634, Arkansas State Red Wolves versus the Louisville Cardinals. 8 o'clock Eastern time is your tip-off time. The Cardinals -3 and 148. And Whoa, guys! I mean, how far have the greats fallen? And there is no program that has fallen faster or farther than Louisville. The Cardinals are just 4-5 after their loss on Saturday to DePaul. They've now lost 4 of 6 and have failed to cover 3 of the last 4 games. This number is dropping after Louisville opened -5.5 with 87% of the money on the Red Wolves, along with 64% of the tickets. So the pros and the Joes are both on the same side. I'm not sure how long Kenny Payne is going to be at Louisville. I know we took over. He took over a program that finished 4-28 last year. They're 4-5 this year. I'm not, I don't think if I'm AD Josh Hurd that I'm going to be sitting there and saying, yeah, this is acceptable at a program-rich university like Louisville. But we'll see. The Red Wolves were absolutely on fire. We saw them in their last time out against UAB. I'm guessing that is fueling a lot of the betting here, and people just don't believe in Louisville anymore. The name doesn't hold any credibility amongst bettors, so that's why we're seeing that number tumble down. But I'm willing to give the Cardinals one more chance at this number. I'm going to take Louisville plus the 3 and go against the public. Game number 2. 10 o'clock Eastern Time, game 643, 644. Weber State, the Wildcats against the Nevada Wolfpack. Nevada minus 9.5, minus 9.5, 133 is the total. We see 84% of the money coming in on the Wildcats, along with 72% of the tickets. No movement on that number, which really is because the money coming in is pretty minuscule, and the books are not going to move it, and it's not respected money coming in, so the number stands pat. We saw the Wolfpack suffer their first loss of the season last week to Drake as a 4-point favorite. That should work in our favor tonight. And not only did they lose, but they lost by 19 points. And not only did they lose by 19, they lost in what might as well be Las Vegas, which, if you know the rivalry between Nevada and UNLV, they never want to lose here. And honestly, we don't care about them. We being UNLV. So they did lose in Henderson, Nevada at the Dollar Loan Center. But if you know the area, you know that's let's see. Don't take this wrong, Henderson. You're a glorified suburb of Vegas. That's basically what it is. So they are a separate city, so no offense. But they did lose there. Reno was exceptional off the loss last year. If you remember, they went 7-1 every time they lost a game this year. They beat their opponents by an average of 7.5 points. No, that's not going to cover the spread tonight. But that's just an average. I think they're better than Weber State. I also think they're much more motivated to get that bad taste out of their mouths after that loss. They need to and will get more out of Jared Lucas and Tyler Rollison, who really are starting to evolve at freshmen. I think you're going to see more of them, obviously, next year, but they did get some playing time earlier this year, and certainly in their last game. I think that those two guys, just sit back and watch them and see how they evolve. I think they're better than anybody that Weber State has on their floor or on their side of the floor. This number's at 9.5 right now. This doesn't bother me at all. I think Nevada wins this game by double digits, and I'm talking about like 15 points. That's what I have it up on my power rating. So we're going to take Nevada minus 9.5 as your second free play. And in game number 3, also 10 o'clock Eastern Time, the Seattle Redhawks versus the San Francisco Dons. San Francisco minus 9.5, 135. The public is all over the Dons with 65% of the money on San Fran, along with 79% of the tickets. So once again, tickets and money match up. No movement is likely because there was small action so far. I don't think you're gonna, maybe a half point either way. I don't think it's gonna matter in this. We don't put games up to win by half a point, so it doesn't matter. You couldn't ask for a better performance from the Red Hawks after they just got through with finals, came back out, played Northwest University. Yeah, I know it's a nothing school. They beat them in basketball at least. Relax. They won by 55. It wasn't about the margin of victory that I liked. I liked the fact that they were able to get everybody into the game. Everybody showed up on the score sheet. It was, they have 5 players in double digits. It was good to see Paris Dawson get some playing time at point guard. He's kind of buried on the bench, but of course he doesn't shoot very well. So when he does play, he followed this last game up with this last game where he did play well, but before that he was like 0 for 3, 0 for 3. Not a shooter that you want in a big time situation. But I think he's going to see the court more, and if he starts to shoot a little bit better or becomes more reliable, I think that's going to just give them more depth. He is going to be a guy on the bench, but good to see him against Northwest University getting double digits. I think he had 18 points, which I think that matched his career high or one less. But anyway, we're not going to worry about that. 8 times in 9 games, Seattle has held opponents to less than 70 points, which is really why I like this game. If they do that tonight against San Francisco, they're going to cover that number. So we're going to take Seattle plus the 9.5 against San Francisco. That does it for our 3 games for tonight. Please go to pickdawgz.com. Get involved with one of my many packages, including my absolutely scorching hot college basketball 3-pack, $49.99. Get you every single one of my best bets from the college hardwood tonight. And of course, that comes with our Pick Dawgz win guarantee. 30-day all-access passes up there. Get every play for one low price. 90-day all-access passes up there. The annual passes up there. And also, go through the different packages, because this weekend I took some time and I adjusted some prices. I put some new packages up there to see if that would conjure up any more interest, and it seems to. So I want to make sure there's something up there for everybody. I don't want to price anybody out, but the fact of the matter is we are absolutely scorching hot, and I mean me and whoever else has joined me. So we're going to continue that tonight. Before we go, I like to do this when I have time. It does take a little bit of time, but I like to do this because I think I want to give you a little bit more than just picks and kind of behind the velvet rope a little bit about how I look at things and some of the numbers that I look at. But before we go, I just wanted to give you a couple numbers to take into account, maybe when you're doing your handicapping tonight or this weekend. And I just want to give you an idea of how difficult it is to beat these sports and how great the odds makers are at their jobs and how great the bookmakers are at their jobs. And really, we always know that the idea is to go right down the middle with favorites and underdogs. And you would be surprised how close these odds makers and bookmakers are at the end of the season. For instance, in college basketball this year, favorites are 496 and 499 and 3 this season. There is a little bit of an edge with the home teams, though, in this season so far. Home teams own a 381 and 336 advantage, good for 53% winners, 9.77 units off the top of my head, 9.77 units won for home teams this year. So there's a little bit of an edge with the home team. So I naturally had to go down that rabbit hole and say, okay, well, who are the best road teams to bet with this year? Well, we'll start it off with number 3. The Wake Forest Demon Deacons are 3-0 this season, plus 2.80 units. Number 2, the Iowa State Cyclones, 4-0 at home, plus 3.58 units. And the number 1 team to bet at home this year, also at 4.5, is the Minnesota Golden Gophers, 3.61 units. Of course, it's early in the season, but in gambling, you want to make sure teams that go on these streaks, you always hear about, this team's on a 10-game winning streak or they're on an 8-game cover streak. Wish I had that the whole way. Well, that's the key. You got to find the starting point to some of these and then ride them as they move forward. So maybe those are some teams that you want to ride with coming up. The worst teams to bet against at home this season, Big Ten is well represented. At number 3 is Illinois, 1-4 ATS through 5 games, minus 3.09 units. Number 2 is Seton Hall, 0-4 ATS at the Prudential Center this year. And number 1, the very worst team so far to bet on at home, is the Ohio State, 1-5 at home, ATS minus 4.09 units. So, or check that. 4.09 units. So that is, through 6 games at home. Take from it what you will. But also one more nugget. Home teams that are playing less than 500 ball this season are surprisingly, and this jumps right back into what I say, Always expect the unexpected. Home teams playing 500 ball or less are 128 and 100, good for 56% winners against a number, plus 16.25 units. That's based on a 1-unit wager, in case you're wondering how we got that. If you adjust that to teams playing 400 ball or less, you'd be 124 and 94, 57% winners, plus 18.62 units. And of course, you could throw out teams that are below 500 or 500 or 400 that are playing each other. But that's pretty interesting. You get the teams that are playing less than 400 ball are actually covering 57% of the time, almost 19 units of profit, and that just kind of plays right into expect the unexpected. So take that into account when filling out your Wednesday betting card. Let's just recap our free plays before we go. Game number 633, 634, Louisville -3, number 1. Game number 2, 643, 644, Nevada -9.5, and Seattle +9.5. Game 645, 646. So that does it for today's show. I'm Dana Lane. Thanks for joining me on Against the Public. I wish you nothing but the best with your wagers on Wednesday.